Hello and welcome back to Scorpio Tech. In this video we're going to be unboxing and taking a first look at the AUKEY KM-G12 mechanical keyboard featuring RGB backlighting, AUKEY's blue switches, as well as full N-key rollover. So AUKEY are a company that most people will know for their cables and lamps, such as the one I used in my recent setup tour video, but they are now branching out into the world of keyboards with this $37 or £26 mechanical board. The keyboard came packaged fairly nicely with an included user manual which outlines the key bindings, RGB control and some other useful features. As well as this though, we got an AUKEY sticker, a plastic keycap puller and of course the KM-G12 board itself. AUKEY have opted for a black design with a few subtle silver accents and of course the RGB lighting zones which I'll showcase later on in this video. The base of the keyboard is very solid thanks to its weighty steel frame, and the included keycaps have a clean matte black finish to them but are made from ABS, which are very lightweight and more prone to shine through than PBT keycaps. But for a keyboard of this price this isn't actually too surprising. As we can see from the back of the keyboard, it has 3 rubber zones at the front to stop the keyboard from slipping around on the desk, as well as 2 single level feet at the rear of the board which also have a nice rubber grip. In addition to this, the keyboard has a pre-installed cable with a length of 1.6 meters which connects via USB Type A to your PC or laptop. When plugging in the keyboard you are greeted with a neat animation showcasing some of the RGB capabilities. The RGB shines really nicely through the keycaps, making the font both visually attractive and easy to read. But by far and away my favourite thing about this keyboard is the stunning lighting zone that surrounds its base. It looks really clean whilst also making the keyboard look much more premium than its price tag suggests. But even if you're not a fan of RGB at all, you can simply turn off all the lights by using FN and Escape, and the keyboard still looks great even after doing so, which is a really clever design by AUKEY. I would absolutely love to see a white version of this keyboard become available in the future, as the white and RGB would mix very nicely together. As I mentioned earlier, the keyboard switches are AUKEY blues which, like other blues, are extremely clicky, and whilst definitely not for everyone, they still remain a popular choice for some gamers, so let's take a listen. So as expected, they do be kinda clicky, but honestly somewhat satisfying to type with, so let's take a closer look at the switches responsible for all this noise. The switches are responsive and fast and extremely secure in the keyboard's base. For the price tag I'm used to seeing all kinds of wobbly switches, so this caught me a little bit by surprise. However, I do have to say that on some keys, pressing down felt like there was a little bit more resistance than with the others, so there is likely some inconsistency with the switches, but that is just me being quite picky. I do however think the one thing that lets the keyboard down the most is how thin and light the keycaps are. I know it does fall in the budget price range, but they do feel extremely cheaply made, and as I stated earlier they are made from ABS, so will likely develop a shine after some use. The good news is that keycaps can always be replaced for a reasonable price if you wish to do that in the future. Let's now take a look at the various RGB customization options available with this keyboard. In the user manual there are many function key commands for the RGB control, so let's take a look at what each of them are for. The brightness can be adjusted with FN and the up or down arrow, the effect speed can be adjusted by pressing FN and the left or right arrow, the 12 lighting effects can be cycled through by pressing FN and print screen, and each of those lighting effects has 7 colour settings to choose from as well, which can be adjusted with pressing FN and home. To change the base lighting settings on the keyboard you can press FN and page up, and to cycle between the 5 preset gaming lighting effects you can press FN and pause. The user manual outlines all of these very clearly, and apparently there is also some software to accompany this keyboard, although I unfortunately wasn't able to find a link for it, but if I do, be sure to check the description and it might be in there. Worry not, I'll now give your ears a break from my voice and showcase some of the other keyboard lighting effects before I give my final verdict at the end of the video. Overall, using the AUKEY KM-G12 mechanical keyboard has been quite enjoyable. The base is strong and feels premium, which unfortunately is in stark contrast to the very cheap feeling keycaps. The AUKEY blue switches are nice, but I'm personally not a fan of the clicky blues, so it would be good to see AUKEY come up with some other variants such as reds, blacks or browns in the future. The RGB is also great and there are plenty of lighting effects to mess around with, and I really like the design of the board overall. But as I mentioned earlier, I would like to see possibly a white version of this keyboard and maybe even a 65% or 80% variant as well. I think AUKEY have done a great job with this keyboard, and especially to keep the price as low as it is. It would definitely be a good beginner's gaming keyboard for people that like those clicky blue switches. As always, thank you for watching, check the links in the description for more product information, and thanks to AUKEY for sending this out for testing. As always, I'd love for you to join my Discord server, so feel free to do so by following the link in the description. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing as it really does help the channel out. I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.